Okay, now here we are. Bourbonblog.com live. It's Cigar Saturday. Take a moment, like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, do all those great things. We have Sean Keever there with Matty Rock, Pitmaster from Pleasant Valley, Boom Boom Barbecue, New York, and Matty and Sanj. I was just there. We went live last night from Sanj's. What a good time. What's happening, guys? How's it going?
I can't complain, brother. It's good to see you again. This time back to the virtual reality world.
That's right. That's right.
It was good to catch up with everybody in person. Good times. Good times.
We had a lot of fun. We did some good food, some good drinks, some cigars. We went to the hot dog place and Angie. Remind me, Angie's. What's it called again?
We did our Johnny and Angie's run.
Johnny and Angie's, right? I loved it. It was so good.
Everyone does. When Sean's down here by me, you got to do your stop at Johnny and Angie's, man.
You got to go to Johnny.
I love it. I love it. And then next time I'm there, I hope to get up to see you there, Sean. How's everything been going at Boom Boom Barbecue?
It's going great. I just came back from a 2-week road trip. I was out in Kansas, out of the Midwest. We hit up the American Royal, the largest barbecue competition in the world. We go out there every year. This was year number 10 for us out there. It's always a good time doing that.
Nice.
So it's a homecoming in Kansas City is the way I try to describe it. And we've, like I said, we've been going there 10 years. We have our own little neighborhood there. There's 450 teams that compete in this. And they refer to our little neighborhood as the Bourbon Triangle because sometimes you just get sucked in there and we start popping a bottle or two, messing with the fires in those pits.
A bottle or two.
Yeah, a bottle or two.
What'd you pop open a bottle or two of there?
This year, we've started a new thing. You know, as you well know, with the whole bourbon world, I'm almost at the point now where I'm tired of chasing the big bottles.
Right.
Everything, there's always special releases. Special releases to me were really special when they came out once a year. Seems every time you turn around now in the bourbon world, there's a new special release. And the bottle prices have all gone through the roof.
Yep.
So we had a new thing this year. We're looking for the best bottles under $50.
Yes.
And we did a flight of 4 under 50 that we started with. And I believe we had Makers 46.
Yeah.
An Old Forester 1920. A Russell's Reserve. And let me think. I'll think of what the other bottle was. But those are our 4 under 50. And everybody, you know, we all have the expensive bottles at home.
Right.
That nobody likes to drink all that much. And a lot of those prices have the shark a little bit for me. And there's a lot of really good bottles out there that you can find. You don't have to wait in line for. You don't have to hunt down, that are very, very good.
I agree with you. That's part of my journey and my goal when I'm doing whiskey educations is always to find out, you know, what can we find that we don't have to hunt, that's hopefully not going to be a fortune. You know, there's so many of those we love. Of course, I'm having a little bit of it now. I'm having a little Peerless rye. It's a little tougher to find in some markets, but when I saw you, we had some Peerless, we had some Kings County, we had some of the wonderful Hudson. Annabelle's making me a cocktail that actually has a barbecue theme. She's going to bring on here in a moment.
Nice.
If it all works, it's going to be a barbecue theme. But I agree. The hunt is fun, and if I can have the older, rare 20-plus-year-old stuff, you know, I love it when I can. But I always like to have some good backups. The ones you mentioned are all fabulous. So your very favorite of that lot was what? What was your favorite of the lot?
Probably the Russells. I've been a big fan of that, and you know, and it was the 10-year, I believe it was.
Right.
They have 6 and a 10. Right? Is that correct?
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Got it.
I've been a big fan of that for a long time. I enjoy the Wild Turkey products anyway.
Yep.
So, and that bottle, you can just find it anywhere. I haven't been anywhere you can't get it. It's just a great, easy to find bottle, and it's a great drinker.
No,
and I like doing the flights because as much as I can compare things, I like doing side-by-side comparisons.
Oh, yeah.
I find it just works much better. And I have like doing that with all sorts of things. I've been collecting the Woodford Master Distiller series for a number of years now. So I can do a flight. I want to do a barbecue dinner and pair those. So we'll do a flight of those. More recently, I've been into Hill Rock. Hill Rock Distillery is not far from my house. I visit there fairly often, but they've done a very heavy metal release where they've done an Anthrax collaboration, a Metallica collaboration, and a Motorhead collaboration. So I have some of those bottles to put together a flight of, and a great soundtrack with a great dinner.
Yeah,
because nothing else matters.
You paired the music, the whiskey, the barbecue, the cigars. No, I love the Hill Rock. The Hill Rock is beautiful. I love what's happened. So when I visit you, I can also visit Hill Rock. We can go there together, in fact.
Absolutely. Kathy Franklin and Jeff Baker, the owners up there, are great people. I stumbled across them years ago when they had their first open house. Ooh. My wife and I just happened to be off that weekend together, and I saw it on Facebook. I said, "Hey, babe, you want to go? Let's go check it out." We did. At the time, I got to meet their master distiller, Dave Pickerel.
Yeah.
Got to know him through the years of visiting their open houses and when they had their tastings and stuff. And it's I try to tell people my life, I've been kind of like Forrest Gump. I'm really just an ordinary guy who's got to meet some really extraordinary people in great circumstances.
And it could run like the wind.
Yeah, I kept running.
You wouldn't believe it, but Tom, he can run like the wind.
But yeah, I met Dave, and we just kind of hit it off. And, being able to sit there and learn about bourbon from somebody like Dave Pickerel was just kind of amazing, really, really was.
Yeah. No, Dave was, he was the best. And fortunately, whenever I did a documentary on bourbon before I started the blog. I got to know him when he still worked at Maker's Mark, and God will miss Dave a lot. I remember, I think when he first started at Hill Rock, he let me try some of the really young stuff and didn't even tell me what it was. And I thought it was delicious. And he said, "Well, that's going to be Hill Rock." So it's amazing. I can't wait to get there and see it with you. I've not actually visited the distillery. I've had the whiskey a number of times, so I'll get up there. We'll go to Hill Rock together. What's your favorite barbecue to pair the Hill Rock with? This their standard release. You got a favorite way to pair that on the good barbecue?
Brisket.
Some good brisket. I bet it would go well.
You need something really strong. It has all of their products, no matter what they are, have that Dave Pickerel, that high spice.
Yeah.
That little, but the backburn, just a little bit. It needs to have some bold flavors to stand up to his stuff. But yeah, a good salt, pepper, Texas brisket. Maybe some beef flavors.
Yeah, whenever you get that, same pairings when you're doing cigars and stuff, when you have stuff that has that little bit of extra bite, obviously you want to pair that's something that's going to really pair it nicely with the bite. Like we laugh if you're going to do something like a bullet or something that has that little back end punch, or you want to do something like a feral pig, right? Marry those flavors together and really pair that out, right? And it's great that it's the same for barbecue. I think that's the serendipity, right, of all this stuff. I mean, look at how we all know each other. I've known Sean for years because he's also adored in the cigar community. He's done so many events for us over the years. And then again, it just all goes around. And him and I wound up both being friends with the late great Carl Ruiz. Yeah. So it shows you that amount of serendipity. And then you're a couple of points of how you're connected with Sean because of the people and the distillery. So it goes to what I say, all these artisan things, all these things that deal directly within the arts, be it food and barbecue, wine and spirits, or fine tobacco. It's funny. It always finds a way to circle back where everybody's is together and kind of on the same page of it.
It really does. It's incredible just how well those communities get together and how well they work together. It's like the great trio: the whiskey, the barbecue, the cigars, all those and more, of course. So what have you guys been doing tonight? What did you go around some places before you got to Sanja's? What's been happening?
I'll let Sean go first.
Yeah.
I actually came down here from Hunter Mountain tonight. I was up at Hunter Mountain. Our boys, the Goffenberger Social Club, are doing their Smash Burger gig up there. And it's kind of a warm-up. We're getting ready to do the New York City Wine and Food Festival Burger Bash this coming Thursday. So I came from up there, and we didn't get a chance to even hit up on hot dogs or anything down here.
No, boo.
I know.
But I made up for it because today I was like, I'm large. I like steak. So Dean and I went out to Roots, another place that you and I will hit up when you come back down here. So like I said, it's like one of the big box steakhouses, except, it's a smaller, more localized place over in Ridgewood. Never get a bad cut of meat. The service is fantastic. So as usual, I will post later. Ate like I was going to the chair. Had my filet mignon. Had lobster mac and cheese, which will probably lead to gout somewhere down the line. Had a little bit of ahi tuna. And like I said, I did my fair share of eating. And you saw this morning, we will have as a guest on the show. I went to Bourbon Street Beignet. It's someone familiar we've spoken about before.
Yeah.
So, Jewel Hazoo, and as you know, he was the owner proprietor of Glazed Donuts. So he's been on the news and on TV for all of his tasty treats, and he really knocked it out of the park with this. For somebody that spent a decent amount of time in Louisiana, New Orleans, these beignets really do knock it out of the park. He has a lot of other great pastries in there, and I put up this morning. I knocked out some of those beignets. He's like, with sugar or without, and the answer is yes. So both. It'd be disrespectful not to say anything, but yeah. So had them both, and like I said, not greasy. And people who are either from New Orleans or go down there were probably giving me stink face right now. Anyone who's had them will be like, you know what, these things are pretty damn legit. So
they're really the real style then.
Yeah, you appreciate. You could get your chicory coffee. Yeah. So again, I keep saying New York, New Jersey area emergence with food has been nothing but explosive. If you would have told me 20 years ago, New Jersey and New York are going to be hot spots for barbecue, I would have laughed at you, because Sean will tell you back in the day, everyone goes, you want great barbecue? Go to Virgil's on 44th in the city. So, if you're from New York and New Jersey, like, yeah, we have some edible barbecue, but everybody would look. No disrespect to them or what they did. They were one of the first that were there, but it's nothing over the top. It's kind of a tourist trap, but it's okay. It's out of the box barbecue. And unfortunately, that's what you came to expect as the best barbecue places in New York and New Jersey. Then you had some of the other big boys open up, like Dinosaur brought up New Game and stuff like this. Then you have guys like Sean and like Ed and like Cho, all these people we've had on, who really brought the barbecue game to New York and New Jersey. And I call it strong style because it really does. It reaches out and it punches you, because your expectation for that kind of barbecue here was very, very low. And because of these guys, and it's a very, very friendly kind of thing with these barbecue competitions, they all make, right? You guys are all making each other better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just what they come up with, the fact that I could say, hey, these guys can throw down with anybody from Texas or the Carolinas or Kansas City or any of those things, or St. Louis or the Carolinas. That's a big deal. And I can say it in full honesty, these guys throw down, if not beat, half of those guys. So the barbecue game here is really been ramped up.
What led it to, Sean? What made it happen as far as the growth there?
Well, talking about serendipity, on my trip coming back from the American Royal, I stopped in Murfreesboro, Illinois, to judge a contest, the Praise the Lord contest, which is hosted by the 17th Street Barbecue team, which was Mike Mills. And
Great
Mike
guy,
Mills just recently passed away.
Yes.
Mike Mills was probably the most influential person in barbecue.
Right.
So the story goes, his daughter Amy and I have become pretty good friends through the years. But the story goes, Mike had won Memphis in May ribs when he was there. Jeffrey Steingarten, the food writer, didn't have Mike's ribs, and he heard about Mike's winning ribs. Long story short, they mailed Mike wound up mailing Jeffrey some ribs here, and Jeffrey wrote his piece about Mike Mills's ribs being the greatest thing. So Mike then worked with Danny Meyer of Shake Shack fame to start Blue Smoke. And that was really the first craft barbecue place here in New York City. So Mike Mills went from Murfreesboro, Illinois, to literally cooking in the 11 Madison Park kitchen.
Yep.
Talk about two worlds colliding right there. And people don't really understand what Mike has done because most of it is behind the scenes and what that did for the barbecue scene here. Because like I said, before that, it was just kind of craft barbecue. I grew up here in the metro area, didn't know what barbecue was until I was stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and I lived off post, and there was a little shack on the side of the road that said BBQ. And I remember walking in, asking the guy, what kind of barbecue do you have? Because to us here, barbecue is a verb. It's what we're going to do. We're going to barbecue. Barbecue isn't a noun. And the guy looked at me and said, well, we have plates or platters.
Yeah.
You can
continue.
You can have one or both. So I said, all right, I'll have a platter and I'll have both. And he gave me a pile of pulled pork and some ribs. And that was really the first time I'd ever had barbecue. And I've been kind of on the path trying to hunt down that taste of barbecue ever since. Because, that first taste of anything like that just kind of grabs you, and nothing tastes like memories.
Mm-hmm. It's so important, and I'm glad you're mentioning the late great Mike Mills there, and I've gotten to know some of the family. What they've always done has been amazing. So, what a cool story! And did you say you were stationed in Fort Campbell? Is that what you said?
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
Late
so
80s.
Cool. Wow.
Long time ago.
Yeah. So is that kind of where you got? Were you already a fan of bourbon then, or were you? Is that kind of where you picked it up? Or
no? Honestly, I drank a lot of cheap bourbon when I was in the Army. But I'm a New York Irish kid. My fire was literally dunked in Bushmills. So I was an Irish whiskey kid growing up. We drank a lot of that, and I really started to get into the bourbon movement when the craft bourbon movement exploded. Once again, serendipity. The Hudson whiskey people were next to us at the Hudson Valley Rib Festival.
Wow.
Like the first couple years. They gave away their bottles, were part of the prize package when you got there. So I started liking the bourbon, and they've changed a lot since they've started. I think like anything else, when you first start, everything gets better. I know my barbecue's a lot better now than it was then. And I think it's fair to say the same about their whiskey. But it was kind of cool to me that it was right there and they were doing it.
Wow. And,
now the distilleries are popping up like weeds. Some are good. Some are better than others. And some are really good.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. And I agree. I mean, I've always been a fan of the Hudson whiskey for Tuttletown, but what we had there with you a few months back in Newburgh, delicious, a lot older than it was. It was always great and young, but that older flavor, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And as we had Paul on last night, he may stop by tonight, or I know Matty's going to see him soon, what they're doing at Hudson House now. Unrelated, but it related in some ways with friends. It's beautiful there too. So much. I've always been a fan of New York whiskey.
And it'll be just about what we're already talking about, bringing it all together, being able to go to a great distillery, be able to bring cigars and pair it up, and barbecue and different foods, and again have all these craft things put together and really share. So that's again, what's better than that? That's why we all do what we do. That's why we enjoy it, because part of the whole experiential unit, right, is being all together and experimenting and trying all these things together. The good sticks, the good hooch, the good food. That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah,
it is. That's right. Any questions for Sean? Ask them down below. It's exciting to have Pitmaster Sean Keever on here, and we're talking barbecue, whiskey, cigars, all good things. They're joining us live from Sanger's, where I just was this week, and I'm here on the border, back on the border of Indiana and Kentucky, and we're having a good time. What are you guys puffing on there? What do you guys have?
So for us, it's a little Willie Herrera Esteli night going on.
Nice.
So Sean's got the Herrera Esteli original, and I've got the Herrera Esteli
Oh, you
Miami
got the
Black
Miami.
Label. So Tom, you and I have smoked those together. So
nice.
what I ate, I wanted to have something that had that little notch of spice in it. Like I said, I love it. I love the body of it. Medium, what I call a little sneaky. I both smoked it, so it's medium to medium focus. That little bit of a sneaky spice goes in there. Really opens up. Has those peppery notes, which I like. It's earthy. It's woodsy, and like I said, that little bit of extra spice kind of sneaks you a little bit. So it's kind of a tweak of the blend of the original of what Sean is smoking.
Absolutely, and those are both such delicious sticks. And I know there's some great Section 8s we were trying with Sanj this week.
We got the industry killers coming out. We got the SP14. So Sanj is in the back hosting a party. Got the big fight is on tonight. So it's Fury Wilder tonight. So doing a little party hosting in the back, as you've seen how everything is out there in the back room. So that'll be kicking into full effect in a little bit there. So that'll be fun. What are you puffing?
Is it going to be in that back room or in the in the outside area?
It'll be in both because there's the TVs are in each room. So I don't know if they have the projector out in the back. I was too lazy to make it, all 400 feet today. So I stopped about 200 feet in. That shows you that, 7 deadly sins, I'm owning sloth today. So as in a literal human sloth. So like, you know what? I've walked my 200 feet. So I'm done. I have my Starbucks to keep me awake for a little bit longer.
Nice. Very nice. And again, Sean Keever, Pitmaster, any questions on barbecue, anything at all, ask them down below. Any, sure you're asked this a lot, but, barbecue tips, people doing interesting things at home. They're looking for tips just to do a little something that just to spice up or elevate their barbecue game. Any tips?
First of all, spend $30 on a good digital read thermometer. They work. Tools. Right. Tools and opposing thumbs are what separate us from the monkeys. We have great technology. Use that. Chefs, and I can tell you when a brisket is done by grabbing it, because I've done it 100 times. Until you can get to that point, use the tools that are there. The thermometers that you get on any grill that you buy, I don't care where you buy it from, how much you spent on it, $100 or $2,000. The thermometers you get on it are going to be wrong. They really are. They're not going to give you a true accurate reading. They make good bling, and that's about it. You need to know what your accurate temperatures are. And now you can buy one of those little wireless thermometers, like I said, for $30. Stick it in there, and you'll know what your temperature is you're cooking at. And, listen, ribs are easy to cook. 3, 2, 1. 3 hours in the smoke at 225 to 250 degrees. Wrap them up in some foil with a little bit of extra sauce and some more stuff for 2 more hours. After 2 hours, open up that foil, rub the sauce on top, let the sauce sit for up to another hour. 30 minutes to another hour, 3, 2, 1, you have good ribs.
It's the 3, 2, 1 rule. I like it.
3, 2, 1.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it's easy.
Those are good tips. Those are good tips. I like it. Did I see Sanj still there? I saw Sanj.
Yep. Oh, he's coming back behind us. He's drinking some of his high test stuff.
Sanj, what are you trying? All right,
He's got a vintage Lipton iced tea going.
Vintage list. Okay, it's from the stash. How's the party in the back going?
Good. Everything's going good. We had a great time, and tonight I think a bunch of guys are waiting for the boxing match to start and stuff.
Yep, little Wilder Fury action tonight.
Yeah,
battle the big boys.
And actually, later on I start after 9, I think. So
you'll be past my bedtime. Am I kidding? I'll read about it the following morning. I'm getting old, but yeah. So we loved having you here. It was great, Tom. It was a lot.
Man, I can't wait to be back there, Matty and Sanj. Look forward to it. We really had a good time this week.
Yep, and don't let Sean sleep on you too. He's a king. He's king of throwing down those smash burgers, bro. So until you couldn't make the event we did a couple of weeks ago, that was actually right around where we were before. That Charlie Bernard does every year for the last 14 years.
15.
15 years in for Wounded Warriors and Cigars for Warriors, and
Wonderful.
great event. So Sean was slinging some burgers, and I may or may not have put on a mask so I could go up, multiple times to get extra couple burgers. But don't let him sleep on you and forget to talk about the burgers. This man knows how to sling some serious burgers, man. He can smash down.
That seems to be the latest thing that I've been roped into. Like I said, the Forrest Gump of my life. I just keep going in the direction that the wind takes me, Tom. You know what I mean? I've somehow, I know how I've done it, but I've become associated with the Gothenburger Social Club. If you're not familiar with them, follow them on Instagram. There's a group of guys who worked over together down the Financial District that years ago used to go out to eat together. The Post put out a list of the best burgers in New York. They said, hey, let's just go down the list. Long story short, these are a bunch of, good-looking metrosexual, handsome guys, and they went viral.
Black Horse.
They went viral rating burgers and stuff, and they've caught a big following. So they become kind of the burger experts. Fast forward to the pandemic, Mike Puma, who's the founder of it, when we had the rules here that bars could only be open because they served food, he would do a burger pop-up outside of there if they didn't serve food to help the people in the bar industries. Once again, it's gone viral. It's caught on. So I've known Mike for a while outside of the Gothenburger Social Club. He's roped me into smashing the burgers with him. And now we've been traveling around. We were out doing the Grill Hampton earlier this year. We did the large tailgate party with Josh Capon and the 16H group where we raised about $100,000. The tailgate with a cause. We did it there. That's who I was just up in Hunter Mountain today doing it with, up at the Scribers Lodge up there. And we're getting ready to take on the New York City Wine and Food Festival Burger Bash this coming Thursday.
All right.
We bring the trophy home. Brought the trophy home from South Beach earlier this year. We did a little collaboration with Pig Beach. So we're going to be competing against Pig Beach this coming Thursday. So the gauntlet is thrown down. So if you're in New York, come on out to Pier 86 for the New York City Wine and Food Festival Burger Bash on Thursday night. The Gothenburger Social Club will be smashing burgers all night long.
And I suggest you dress like Braveheart for this. It's just the right thing to do when you go into these kind of wars. Horse is optional, but I would go in because that's me.
So, I like it. So yes,
all the guests we have, right? They all demand different cigars, and we have never failed. Correct?
That's right.
So I'm going to show you a real Indian magic today.
Oh shit!
I'm going to show you something that this guy is waiting for.
Okay, let's see the magic. Very special magic.
Here's a box of coffee that he wanted. Look what's here. Look what's here.
Oh, it's Bourbon blog. It's some bourbon coffee. Look at that.
Nice.
Dennis Coffee Roasters.
Everything we have, everything he was supposed to get, he's got it. So you know what?
I got it.
We're done.
and Tom had no idea this episode would be a roast of Tom. So we're using the
word okay. It's roasting. It's just like roasting coffee now. We're roasting Tom. It's okay.
Yeah. Instead of roasting coffee, roasting Tom. Instead of getting burned, it's not somebody fucking up barbecue. Poor Tom.
Well, listen, I love it too. I'm a coffee.
You got some. Oh, you'll have so much fun with that. Yeah. Thank you, Sanj. And again, anybody who wants some of that, it's right there. We always do a drawing, and Sean, you won it a little while back. We got that coffee is coming. Hey, we got some. It's such good coffee, and this will take you to the link. Janice Coffee Roasters. Make sure you try some. Hey, we have a lot of good people watching us. Hudson Valley Bourbon Enthusiasts. Thank you, Hudson Valley. I got to know a lot of great places in the Hudson Valley while I was there, like the Hudson House. And I actually just wrote a story about this wonderful tiki bar called Fuchsia. If you go to bourbonblog.com, you can check out the podcast interview I did with Anton, the owner. So Hudson Valley Bourbon Enthusiasts, thank you. Or actually, Annabelle made me the rum old fashioned they have there. So that's what she made me. Hey, look, we were talking about Mike Mills. We have Chris Mills, who's part of the family, who also knows you, Sean. Saying hi.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
So
Hey,
Chris
Chris,
loves our show too. So many good people that are all connected here. Eric Eisenbud is watching as well. We appreciate it, Eric.
Chef, what's up, baby?
What's going on, Eric?
A lot of
Hudson
good
Valley
people.
Bourbon enthusiasts. They just hosted a great event in the Hudson Valley that I missed because I was at the Praise the Lord competition.
I need that shirt. I gotta have a Praise the Lord thing.
Chris Mills is the guy to talk to. He probably knows somebody.
Yeah.
Chris, I'm gonna need Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
You know I'll wear that proudly.
But they just hosted a great veterans benefit up in the Hudson Valley. And that's how Matt and I met. We've been hosting the Cigar BBQ with Charlie Baranier West Point now for 15 years.
Nice.
I didn't even smoke cigars when we started it.
Yeah, I became like his drug addict. So I'm a pusher.
He's my dealer. First one's free. Kid.
None of y'all need to do. Oh, Chris, thank you, sir. None of y'all
will
need
help
to
you
do
out there. Thanks,
Chris. I'll make sure you get some good. You'll get some good smokes. So we'll done have ourselves a deal, sir.
Yeah. No, Chris is great. Used to live a little close to me too. So small world here in the world of whiskey, bourbon, barbecue, cigars, great spirits, great libations. What else do you need?
And to quote Mike Mills, what he would say, the pizza people and the spaghetti people aren't doing this.
Now you get kills. Yeah, it's a different. Now you're talking ferocious shit.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Pete, especially here. That's line drawn in the sand kind of shit here. When the New York Times came out with the article that that the best pizza in the United States of America isn't New York, it's New Jersey. I mean, and we're talking about Braveheart. There was legitimate freaking. But think about it. It's what it's gravitated to. When people say you can't have a joint called Brooklyn Pizza in New Jersey, and you don't say anything and you smile, then when they have to cringe and they see, oh shit, I'm like, no, could you say that louder? Who owns this place? They're like, Grimaldi's. I'm like, cool, I can't hear you. They're like, the Grimaldi's, okay, you win. I'm like, yeah, that's right. The Grimaldi's, son. And it's hard pressed, especially in this area, to get bad pizza. You're just not going to make it. You're not going to make it. It's that simple.
The whole thing about New York, New Jersey. Growing up in Bayonne, I would tell people I was much closer to I lived in Manhattan and Bayonne. I'd have people from Queens tell me I wasn't from the city. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, first of all, I was from the part of the city that you called the city. And then I moved across the river the other way, and I was still closer than you were from Queens. You get that whole strip there, as you well know, Jersey City, Union City, Hoboken, Fort Lee. It's as close to Manhattan as,
And the joke is Bergen County is the sixth borough. And they call it the sixth borough because you're over the GW and, the 2 minutes you're over in GW, all these food places just are all blowing up and popping up over here. So New Yorkers say they hate it, but you look at all the license plates, they're over here and having some of our dirty Jersey food, and they know they're loving it.
And that whole skyline has changed so much in our lifetime. I'll be 57 this year. That was just all desolate, broken down old docks and stuff. Now it's all high rises and restaurants. And, what used to be the punk bars down in the village have now turned into restaurants.
Yeah. But part of me is a little angry at that, man. When you have the places, I think the only one left is Bitter End.
Yeah.
You had CBGB's, all these other places, and it was, I can't tell you how much I miss that music scene. I'm not crying that there's new groovy food places to eat, but the vibe is
it's definitely changed.
The Bleecker Street. I'll call it the Bleecker Street vibe. Bleecker Street vibe has changed over the years. You still have a few of the old record stores like Revolver that's still made it. Like I said, I believe the Bitter End is the last.
Maybe.
Right?
I don't know.
I think the Bitter End is the last of
I'm
the old.
Now. I don't get to go over there.
Yeah, my bedtime's at 10 o'clock. We're in the same boat there, buddy. But back in the day, especially doing promotions stuff, you look at all these places like, hey, is this place here? I'm like, no. And as you remember, we had Laura Cheadle on. I got to go find the picture.
Yeah.
One of the last old places I was in. The last time I was there was doing a Laura Cheadle show, and the whole wall in the back is signed by all the people that graced those walls over so many years. And it's a big deal, man. Culture change, but I can't say it's a bad one. It's just different.
Yeah, it's just different. It's another cycle of the city,
Yep. The Ramon Stomping Grounds is not the Ramon Stomping Grounds anymore.
No. I don't know where people learn about sex now. We all went to Times Square back in the day. But
Oh,
everybody had to.
yeah.
Do
Now
it.
it's bullshit. Now
Yeah.
there's the Disney star. I'm like, no. I'm here with my $6 for the chick named Trixie. I mean, I heard secondhand knowledge, of course. Simply being observed as a historian would.
Yes,
Yikes.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yes.
Well, you're talking about Jersey being so good with different various things. I mean, how bad was the fallout when Carl said the best Cuban sandwich in the United States came from Union City? And
When you get death threats from Miami and Tampa,
Yeah.
I mean, you're a special kind of special. And people, when the mayor is challenging you on TV, I mean, it was all over the news.
It was.
Carl made such a goddamn Mr. Smollett's. What's up there, fella? I was like, you want to talk about creating an absolute shit show? It was great. But what people didn't listen to, and it's true, people who've traveled, people who love their bread, and I think it's actually is a fair thing. You might be able to get all the ingredients. People have been fighting this for 50 years. There is something about the water in that area, the New York City water in that. I mean, everyone forgets New York City water. Everyone's like, that's probably the most disgusting shit ever. It actually comes from 70 miles north from the Ashokan Reservoir.
Yep.
So, are the pipes 100 years old? You bet your ass they are, or older, that brings that water. But everybody who's a true foodie, everybody who loves their bread and their rolls and everything else, they might get pissed off. They're going to tell you Jersey and New York water has equated to some of the best bagels, some of stuff that you're like, it's not rocket science to make. So when you have this old Cuban guy that's making these sandwiches, let's assume for all intents and purposes, all the ingredients are exactly the same, done the same. What's going to put you over the top if everything's the same? The bread. So if you haven't, and Carl said that, all things, there's something special. And Tom, and the next time you come back, that is something important to do because, you probably scratch your head like, what are these ding dongs talking about Cuban sandwiches? And yep, there's Eisenbud right there telling you. So you talk about absolutely amazing Cuban sandwiches. The bread highlights everything that's on there. What's up there, Huge? Yep.
It's the terroir.
And there's shirt guys. Shirt guys telling you right as it is, man. That bread.
That's right. It's terroir. I'm sure it's talent, but I know that the terroir makes such a big difference, and I see it in the whiskey too. That's the thing. I mean, I've always said, when I started drinking Hudson and Kings County, from the distillery Kings County back in the day, I mean, I was really noticing a difference in the grain. I mean, it's something very special. All the distilleries are doing Hudson House.
The Hudson Valley, that whole stretch of the Hudson Valley, that's all limestone, much like it is in Kentucky, where it's supposed to be filtered from. There's towns up there that have since disappeared because the thruway was put in, but they're called cementing. The skyscrapers in Manhattan were built from limestone from up in the Hudson Valley through those. So that's where the whole Widow Jane mine comes from, because those are all supposedly limestone beds, and that adds to, as you know well, the terroir of it and the limestone filtration for the bourbon.
It's beautiful minerality. I mean, it's some really good stuff what they're doing.
That's fun history right there to study. You study how Ashokan was. Everyone's like, it was an existing body of water. It was not. They flooded out that valley, about 100 and something years ago.
Yeah.
People, everybody bought out all the properties there. So you could still find some old, rare photos of what it looked like in the towns that were actually in there. So
they moved the Ashokan. They actually moved that town. And it comes down and it funnels through, I believe it's something like 20 different reservoir systems. It crosses the Hudson River, and that water it's brought down into the city. It's one of those engineering marvels.
Yep.
Really
old school aqueducts. Well, you got one. Not quite Romanesque, but for New York, I guess that's our version of the Romanesque aqueducts, is just how the water gets from Ashokan down to Manhattan, which is it's pretty fascinating stuff.
Yeah, we have the. Go ahead.
We grow some great grains here. Looking back at the history you look back at the leather stocking region when you're talking about the last of the Mohican days. New York was the frontier, the Erie Canal. It was also the breadbasket of the new colonies where they grew, and rye was the big thing, and that's what Dave Pickerel, in my discussions with him and the Hill Rock people, are doing. They're the estate to glass distillery, so they're trying to grow all of their own rye again. And then there's the Empire Rye Coalition.
Yes.
That are coming together, the different kinds of rye that they're bringing back, much like the craft beers doing it with the hops. Because from what I understand, that's what New York was known for prior to Prohibition, was rye and hops.
Yep, that's right. The New York rye category that was introduced several years ago. So many great distilleries that helped found that, and now so many like the Hudson House that we had last week and others. So many good rye whiskeys, and they're all so different too. I mean, sometimes it's more the spice that comes through. I think on the Hudson House that we had recently, a lot of the stone fruit notes come through so beautifully. But I mean, I like both. I like rye, I like bourbon, and I love it's only one of two. Really, it was the first state that I know of in the U.S. that had its own rye category. Indiana, coincidentally, just put into law an Indiana rye category about 3 months ago. So it's interesting. I think we'll see more states that'll be jumping on that, but New York really helped to set that in motion.
Yeah, and we're proud of that. Everybody, when they think of New York, they think of the city. When you think of Jersey, you think of the Sopranos. You don't think of the beautiful Hudson Valley or the fact that New Jersey, it says Garden State on the license plate for a reason. If you've never had Jersey corn or Jersey tomatoes in August, you'll understand why.
It's all stuff. Like I said, for a shit nothing little state, nothing better than a Jersey beef steak tomato, Jersey sweet corn. Or like I said, little places in which you've been one to. I mean, you have the whole United States when, you have 3 uniformly known as some of the best hot dog places, right? And all within a 5-mile radius.
And hamburger.
It says something. Look, you have White Manna. Yeah, you have White Manna, Tom, which we talked about. That will go there too. I mean,
he didn't take you to the Manna.
We ran out of time.
We only had time for one, which we'll do more next time.
So we gotta do. If we want it, it's where Smash meets Sliders, right?
Really is. And it's funny too. There's the 2 of them. Much like anything good that, there's the 2 that kind of split back in the day story thing. I've always been partial to the Jersey City, the White Manna one end, because I don't ever remember not going there. My entire life I've been going there. Like I said, to steal my buddy Mike Puma's line, nothing tastes better than memories. So it's very nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
But, they're 80 years old. But, anytime if I have to come to Hackensack, I'm not passing up on the other Manna either.
Yep. And I was just close enough. Like I said, when there's a point where my office was literally, I was over on Anderson Street. So literally I could pogo stick from Anderson Street over to, it's not really fun watching a fat guy pogo stick to get burgers, but I'm saying I could. So I could pogo stick from my office over on Anderson Street over to get White Manna. And again, the ability that you get to have a historic, not just great, historic place that's been around for almost a century. And this area has been great about it. We've kept and encapsulated a lot of that history, and we enjoy it today. The fact that all these places exist that you can go to. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Oh, yeah. And now, so you all mentioned briefly Sopranos. I haven't had a chance to see The Saints. Have you guys watched Saints yet? What do you think? Have you watched it?
Yes. I don't want to give any spoilers out, but it has made me go back to watch the series again. Right. There's a lot of Easter eggs in The Saints that tie back to the series at different parts. So yeah, it's actually interesting. I had lunch in Halstead's at the booth last week, on Wednesday of last week. Halstead's is where the final scene was shot, if you remember. And we walked in, there's nobody there. We actually sat down and at the booth, there's a little sign there that says reserved for the Soprano family. And no kidding, Journey was playing on the radio.
Wow.
Don't Stop Believing. I'm like, this is just, it was a little weird.
And
I didn't want to sit with my back towards the door.
Then some shady guys looked like they were looking through the window at Sean in the parking lot. But luckily he's here, so he,
we made it.
He didn't get bum rushed, He turned it all around. So,
Matty, have you seen it yet?
I have not. Like I said, I'm horrible. I said, I've watched my Jets win their one game. I watched the Yankees implode into a million pieces. So the things that I watch on TV, I'm just bitter staring at a TV screen. And at my advanced stage, when I'm finally done for the day, I go to sleep, knock out my 8 hours. I tell you, I'm going to get my jerseyness is going to get repealed on me. Anytime I say, how you doing? Someone's going to go, no, you don't get to say that. You shut your mouth. You take that back, you jerk off. You can't say that shit.
How you doing?
So right now, Rico's doing this. You He's so disappointed. Tony Cucci's so disappointed. I love you guys. I'm sorry. I swear I'll watch it. So beg for a little forgiveness in advance. But thanks for selling me out, Tom. See, that's what happened.
I was just curious.
We sold Tom out for not getting product. Matty Rock gets sold out. This is
hey, you got plenty of time. It'll be.
You should know better.
Yeah,
it'll be around. We got to get Tony or one of the guys back. We'll do a Saints episode of some sort coming up here. But in case anybody hasn't seen it, we've had some great members of the cast of Sopranos on this past year. All the episodes up on our YouTube channel, and of course, if you did miss last night's episode, I was there at Sanja's with Matty and Mario and Paul, the whole gang. Lots of great people. Make sure you watch that. So much good stuff coming. What's anything else coming up? We're going to see you in New York at the New York Food and Wine Festival this week. Where else are you going to be, Sean? Where else can we find you?
That's really all we have going on for right now. We've been kind of running pretty hard for about the past 6 weeks.
Oh, I can see, yeah.
So it's kind of time for me to stop and to do things. I enjoy posting stuff on my Instagram and telling people about the stuff that I do, but I'm not very good at doing that while I'm doing it. I find I can't necessarily do and tell people about it at the same time. So I go on long stretches where I tend to just dive in and do a bunch of stuff. And then at the end of the story, go back, look at the pictures, and remember about it. It's kind of evergreen stuff. It's not sports scores. You don't need to know it today. You know?
Right.
Mario's right behind us. We want to get
Mario.
Hello.
Good to see you, Mario. How's it going, buddy?
Yes, good. Quick question. That stuff you sent me a message today. I'll email you. Send me your email when you can, buddy.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And the art's wonderful. It was so good to see you, buddy.
Oh, good to see you, man. Thank you again for the opportunities. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, take care, guys.
Thank you. We had a lot of fun with Mario and the whole gang there. And where can people find you, Sean? Where's the best website, best social to point them to?
The best social is probably Instagram. Boom Boom BBQ on Instagram. That's where I spend most of my time. Just looking at pictures of food and puppies and whiskey.
Everybody loves puppies,
right? I mean, who doesn't love puppies? You know, that's when I get home from these things. I have 2 big Newfoundlands at home, so those are my girls. I get to go home, and luckily I'm a big guy because they're lap dogs, 120-pound plus lap dogs. But you know, I'm good. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. We got the Burger Festival coming up, and then the next big thing really after that is we're launching our new tailgate club down at MetLife Stadium on the 28th of November. The 92 tailgate crew. I'm a huge Giants fan, and I'm a big Michael Strahan fan, and that's the day that they're raising Michael Strahan's number to the rafters. They're going to retire it, and we're launching our little tailgate club that day. So we're going to have a good time with that. Got the new trailer. We'll bring it down, and we'll have a big party in the parking lot.
I have nothing to say. I'm a Jets fan, so I've recently been getting into women's ping pong instead. As you saw last week, the Jets
2 overtime victories. Both teams.
So we'll take what we could get. The Jets had their probably one and only victory of the year, so I'll have to graciously accept
I'm not a Jet hater.
No, you
like
can't.
A lot of people.
You can't hate the Jets. It's like looking at a maimed animal in the street. You feel sorry.
I do.
Oh, you can never really be mad at them. You just look at them and like, oh, maybe in the next life. Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the art of being a Jets fan.
Yeah, I'm a Yankees Giants guy, but I'm not a hater for those other people, for the other fans. I have friends, like I said, I'm 56. I have friends who are in their 40s who've never got to witness a Super Bowl parade. And unless you've done that, it's like I wish.
Yeah, you're getting that look. Super Bowl.
But you need to, and I feel badly that you don't. A few years ago, I remember when the Mets and the Royals were playing in the series. I was part of a workforce development program out on Long Island. I was traveling back and forth that fall from Kansas City to Long Island. So from the heart of it. And I had friends out there in Kansas, my buddy Bruce, who never got to take his son to a playoff baseball game. His son was in his 30s. So I got to, and that was the first year the Yankees had missed the playoffs. You know, I never even
Yeah.
bothered watching the play. You know, I didn't bother watching because the Yankees were on such a run for a while.
Yep.
So I got to see other people celebrate while we didn't do anything, and you get to see how much the sports fans really like their teams.
Oh, yeah.
Then you know, you really do. It's easy to like a winner, but you know, when they haven't done it in a long time, it was kind of neat to see that for everybody.
And Jet fans are special. If we win, when we rip up a chair, we may not throw it at you. There's some kindness in our hearts.
Right.
We're just the worst.
You're not
You're
like Eagles.
That's the joke. There's like, oh yeah, well, at least I'm not an Eagles fan. Even Eagles fans are like, you know what? You know, you never mind. I'm like, anything else? They're like, nope, that'll be it. I was like, yeah, I think that should be it too. So it's the truth. I didn't see what you were puffing on there, Tom, today.
I'm having a little. It's actually a special one. That's a Weller Cohiba. It's created to go with Weller bourbon, but you can use any bourbon with it, so it's quite nice.
From our friend Sean. What's up there, Sean?
Friend Sean, saw Sean last week as well. So
good people, right there.
Great guy. Yeah, I got to see a lot of good friends in the cigar, whiskey, and food world as we were all traveling through New York. Had a great time, especially there at Sanja's, and can't wait to be back there with the whole gang. It was a really great experience to be there.
And that's a reminder to everybody listening, with the holidays fast approaching, and knocking on wood with COVID turning down a little bit. Remember, it's not just virtual anymore. If you're looking to do pairings and tastings with Tom, please reach out to him. If you're looking to do everything together, throw some cigars in the mix in that, or maybe you want some barbecue, reach out to myself, reach out to Sean. We are available to come on out, put something together for you. It could either be, for 10 people or 500 people. It's what you're looking to do. And we're more than happy to put something together for everybody. And it'll be good to get out there and see everybody.
Yeah. Reach out to us. We'll keep on doing this. We'll keep on doing it, especially as we hit our whenever we hit our exact 2-year mark, we'll do something. Well, we do something special every week, but we'll do some sort of which won't be too long from now, some sort of grand celebration.
I don't know. That'll be like 100 episodes. I'm just saying, Johnny hot dogs, something like that. We'll have our own hot dog eating contest.
Yeah, 100 hot dogs.
Oh God, no one deserves that. I love White Castles, but no one deserves to be around the aftermath. Unless we're, of course, sponsored by Febreze, then we have something to talk about.
That would be okay too. We got several different competitions in one. That'd be
absolutely
several different tables we can line everybody up on. So many good people watching and sharing tonight. Thanks everybody for watching and sharing this. Take another moment, like this, share this. We'll do the drawing of that coffee here in just a moment. But if you haven't already checked it out, do check out JanusCoffeeRoasters.com. And for the direct link to that Bourbon Blog coffee, as I shared before, I'll throw it up there one more time. bourbonblog.com/coffee. Sean, you're set for a while with that coffee. You're gonna, you'll fire one up and enjoy it. Beautiful barrel aged coffee there in the morning. I know you're gonna love it.
Yeah, I'm super psyched. I'm a big cold brew fan.
Ooh,
and I found these barrel aged coffees make really good cold brew.
Oh, we got to do Kyoto then, right?
Yeah.
Our barrel aged Kyoto.
So they're suggesting roping off the bench,
baby.
That's right.
Tom, we might have to
your anniversary is what.
Sure, guy is right. We might have to do it from the bench.
We can do it.
Yeah.
Can we have a big party at the bench too?
I think we can. We'll let you organize it.
No.
But we'll outnumber them. So there's more of us than there are people in the town. So we'll carry torches. It'll be the whole Frankenstein kind of shit.
We just feed them a couple burgers or something.
Yeah.
We'll have a couple little flasks or a couple big flasks we can pour out of.
Yeah.
I think it'll work.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we invest in that philosophy. It's
so. Because they'll take care of the town, is what he says.
A rack of ribs will get you pretty far.
Yep.
Oh yeah. All those goodies will get you far.
Part of the Jersey thing is if at first you don't succeed, bribe, right? See, Sopranos would be happy. Right now I'm back in the good graces. All right, what he said works. All right, we're happy.
I always thought it was better to ask forgiveness than beg for permission.
That's right. Between whiskey, cigars,
and another incredibly New York, New Jersey thing. Yes. The epitome of how you doing rolled up into one lump. Yeah,
that's it. The first one's free. It didn't matter. It's for everything, right?
But
You're
now,
like,
now we're doing this right.
Oh, I'm
Everybody
sorry. I
gets
didn't know I wasn't supposed to do that.
Everybody gets one.
That's right.
Yeah.
The first one's free.
Yeah, it'll be the everybody gets one philosophy. I like that.
Everybody gets one. I like it. All right, so we're gonna do the drawing for the coffee. Sean, thanks again to everybody who liked this, shared this, retweeted. Even if you're watching this later, do that and subscribe to this channel. Number between 1 and 35 to make sure we.
I think this one goes to 11.
Mm.
All right, number 11. Oh, how nice is this? Chris Mills, you got that coffee, baby.
Perfect.
Boom, baby.
Chris, well
Perfect.
done.
Boom.
Well done.
And Chris, you know who to track down now if your coffee's not there, right? You know the guy who knows the guy because he's the guy.
We'll get you that coffee out. Thanks everybody from watching. I saw great people. Daryl watching from Yellow Springs, Ohio. Irene, thanks for watching as always. Everybody, thank you for watching us for so many months, and I'll soon be able to say for so many years. It's always a fun time on a Saturday night. We always look forward to it. Matty, anything coming up next week we want to mention?
I am Cigar Saturday may turn into Cigar Sunday. I will be on the road. I'll be out in Savannah in Hilton Head. So I got to see. I don't feel bad. So much like talking about barbecue, there will be barbecue places to be visited, peach cobblers to be had, pecan pie.
The Gray Market. So
I love it. I love the food there. So good. Such a great area.
The Gray, Mashama Bailey's restaurant that's in the Greyhound place, the Netflix food series. She has a smaller fast casual place called the Gray Market. Go there, get the burger.
So you will see possibly pictures of me.
Go there, get the burger.
At the Gray Market.
One of the best burgers I've ever had was there.
And
really.
He can't throw that shit around because he makes some of the best burgers around. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah. And they do a chopped cheese, an off-menu chopped cheese, too. So
it's not off-menu anymore because now I'll be like, Sean Keever said it's his fault.
Sorry, Sean, I let the cat out of the bag.
Yep, chopped cheese. That's so New York. I love it.
It's so New York. Well, she's from the Bronx.
So there you go.
So she's down there.
People don't talk about it. That's another thing to know. You just brought up. That could be showing us up. A chopped cheese is the New York version of a Philly cheesesteak. And if you didn't grow up in places, you have me who's third generation. How you doing? So we know what the chopped cheese is. So that's the New York. The best way to say it is the New York version of a Philly cheesesteak. And I have to tell you once again, once you're going back to bread and how the bread makes everything different. Not that Philly's a slouch with bread because South Philly has some incredible places. Philly's still one of the best freestanding outdoor Italian markets. I would even bet you're saying in the country.
That's the key sandwich in Philadelphia. It's not the cheesesteak. You can get a good cheesesteak anywhere, but the Italian roast pork sandwich in Philadelphia with the broccoli rabe and the provolone and Dinnick's, absolutely fabulous. That's one of the top sandwiches in the country.
All right, so Tom, when we do our road trips, Philly's not too far.
Sounds incredible.
I definitely we dig out, and there's John's too.
Yep.
John's has a killer pork with broccoli rabe. So, and then of course you got to go to the original Tony Luke's by the 2300. And the fun part of there is make sure you don't get stabbed in the neck with the pencil before you get there and put in your order. If you do, you don't want to leave the pencil in because you want to eat the sandwich first before you bleed out.
Yeah, maybe eat
Come
it
on,
first.
South. That's a ringing endorsement. Cut it out.
Yeah,
it's a good. It's fair.
It is.
It was a fair thing to say.
that's awesome. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you in Hilton Head. When do you leave for Hilton Head?
I'm out on Tuesday.
And on Tuesday, so you'll be there all week. That'll be fun.
So I don't know if I'm. I think I'm on the last flight out on Saturday, and it's basically already past my bedtime. So they'll either be Cigar Saturday on Sunday, or we'll figure out some fun stuff.
To be determined and announced. Just keep on watching our social media channels, and everybody, thanks so much for watching us here tonight with Sean. Sean, it was so good seeing you again and having a sip and smoke with you virtually.
My pleasure.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me.
Much love, ladies and gentlemen.
Love everybody.
Enjoy the rest of their weekend.
Cheers.